What's up, guys? In this tutorial I'm going to show you guys how to export an Endorphin animation over into Blender. So let's go ahead and open up Blender. Before I get started, I really want to thank Krusty Malk on the Endorphin subreddit. He's the whole reason why this is possible. So let's start a new scene in Blender. Just going to clear everything. And we can go back to Endorphin and get our scene going. So this is, if you watch the first tutorial on how to import the animations from mixamo, you'll see how I got this animation here. One thing that's important about this is you're going to want to make sure that your character is in a T-pose on the first frame. It's so that it can be retargeted to a new character when imported into Blender. So always make sure all your characters in the scene start with a T-pose. So I'm going to go ahead and add another character. Let's do an audio motion 1. Click OK. Let's move him in front. And I'm just going to have a really simple scene. Let's just create a constraint event first. Actually, we can just make him balance, I'm pretty sure. So let's just add a behavior event. Balance 2.0. I think that's how you get him to stand. Yeah. Sweet. So that's awesome. That looks good. Make it to where he falls right as he gets blasted. So we'll just keep the balance on. And let's add a force event right whenever his hands get like right there. I'm going to select that, his back, and his neck as well. And let's go here, stretch it out just a little bit, not too much. And we can go ahead and point in the direction we want. Let's render that, or let's simulate that. Looks good. I like it. Another really cool tip, a lot of people probably know this, but to make your character like way more ragdoll-y, or more floppy, I guess, you can create an active pose event for him. Go over, oh, not behavior event, my bad. Create an active pose. Put that on the same frame. And I'm going to make the strength -50. And you'll see what that does to the character. Check it out. Makes him like a lot more floppy. Looks good. So I'm going to stretch the animation out to a good, let's make the scene like 272 frames. So once you're satisfied with your scene, you're going to select your first character. And you're going to go to File, you're going to hit Export. Make sure you export it as a BVH file. That's really important for Blender purposes. So I'm going to name this Spell, and we're going to change it. Make sure your end frame is whenever you want it to be. And I'm going to target my reference character here, Audio Motion 1. Select that. Make sure the accuracy is on accurate. Click OK. Then we're going to select our other character here. And we're going to go to Export. Let's name it Fly. Just the one who flies. Works for me. Everything should be the same as before. Click OK. Then we're going to go over to Blender here. And we're going to import our... Oops, it's not an FBX. Sorry, you're going to import the BVH. Motion capture is what it's called. So go to where you saved that, and there it is right there, Spell, import that one. Make sure, don't mess with the scale just yet, because you're going to just scale it whenever you put your characters in. So there's that. I'm going to go over here to import BVH. Where are you at, BVH? Oh, there it is. Okay, sweet. So Fly. Now if you click play right now, it's just going to be in slow motion. And that's because you have to make sure your frames on the right side over here on the output section matches Endorphin, which is a good 60 FPS. Oh, that's 50. I'm blind. 60. There we go. And then if you click space, it will play out. Now, the most important part of this tutorial is this plugin right here. You're going to have to go to the Here button. I just type in Blender Rokoko Addon in Google, and then I click the second one down there. Scroll down, click the Here button, and it should install it. Don't mess with anything, just leave it where it's at. And then you're going to go into Blender, you're going to go to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, go ahead and search Rokoko. And then you're going to click the check button there. Mine's already been selected. So whenever you've added that, let's go ahead and add our characters. Let's go to Mixamo and click the character section. Get rid of the spell. There's a bunch of characters to choose from. I just want to choose two like average looking people. Actually, you know what? We're doing the ninja for the spellcaster. You got to do the ninja. So select that and go to animations and type T-pose. Make sure your character is in the T-pose. So click download. Change your FBX to FBX binary, or your format, sorry, to FBX binary. 60 FPS, and we're going to do with skin. Download that. And then we're going to go ahead and choose our other character. Let's do this guy right here. Sometimes it can take a second to load. And some of these characters only render in cycles, so you guys will find out a lot of the ones with hair particles in them. Avoid those if you're trying to render in Eevee. Otherwise, you can use whichever character you want for cycles. So let's download this guy, FBX 60 with skin. Can take a second while that downloads. I'm going to go into Blender here. And let's go ahead and import them. So import FBX, go to where you saved them, T-pose, there's the first one there. And you can see it's a lot smaller. And you're going to want to scale the endorphin animations down to match that. So I wonder what's taking this guy so long. Sometimes it can take a minute to load, but while that happens, I'm going to go ahead and scale my characters down. So I press 1, I zoom in, hit S, scale, then click when you're satisfied. Okay, so there we go. Let's check to see if our other one's ready. There it is. Sweet. So I import that other one. They're on top of each other right now. And you can see they're a little bit different sized. I want to scale the one I just imported down just a little bit to where it matches like that, to where it's the same size. So what we're going to do next, let's go to our Rokoko add-on. It's up here on the top right of the screen. There it is right there. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to stretch it out a little bit. Let's go to the retargeting section. And the source is going to be the one that you're going to want to select the endorphin animation for that one, sorry. So I want to do spell. Let's do the one who casts the spell first. Select target to be armature, because I think that's the ninja. I want the ninja to be the one. Go ahead and click build bones list. This is an important part. Make sure that your T-pose of your character is in the same direction that your endorphin animation is in. So click build bone list. And mine automatically sets everything up, but there's other tutorials as well on how to match the bones. But one way that I do it is I'll select one skeleton, and then I'll select the other one. Make sure it's armature, not armature 01. You want the ninja one selected. And we're going to switch to the viewport shading here. And when you have both of them selected, go to pose mode. And then you can click and compare the bones. Chest 2, spine 1. One thing that's a little weird is sometimes the names of the parts are different. Like this one's the right shoulder on the endorphin, and the character here is called right collar. So you're going to want to make sure that they match over here in the section. So left collar matches left shoulder. Once you do it once, it should automatically do it for you every time. But sometimes you'll have some errors, and sometimes you'll have to fix those. So once you're satisfied with that, you might have to play around with the bones a little bit to see what works. Deselect auto scale, and you're going to change the pose to current. Then you're going to go ahead and select retarget animation. And then when that happens, click Alt H and then let's see what it looks like. It should have worked. Nice. Yeah, it looks really good. Let's hide that, people. Yeah, I'm satisfied with that. One thing about the ninja you can tell is his T-pose is a little different. His arms they go down. So if your T-pose doesn't match entirely, then sometimes there's going to be some flaws, some minor flaws in how it works. I don't like to use the ninja when on characters that ragdoll. I will say that. So next thing we're going to do is let's retarget our other animation. So let's go to source is going to be fly. Target is going to be our armature 0201. So another thing, make sure if your character is not facing the same direction that your endorphin T-pose is. One thing I like to do is I'll press 7, and you can just select your character in the armature and hit R, and that's the easiest way to make it match. I'm just going to hit Control Z just to get it right back to the way it was. So let's go ahead and hit Build Bone List. Automatically filled it out for me. So I'm going to just make sure current is selected, auto scale is deselected, click retarget animation. Uh-oh, looky here, we got our first error. Duplicate bone error. So we can go over here, click it again, and it'll tell you. Left foot. Okay, so looky here, our feet are duplicated. So with this one, it's kind of weird. The foot doesn't always have to be tracked. So if you delete the foot on the toe, because left foot's basically the toes, and we don't really have any bones on the toes of the armature that we want to match. It doesn't really matter. Because another thing is that the endorphin animation always has a toe issue. So that's another reason why I don't like to select the toes. Well, I mean, only in duplicate scenarios like this. So we're going to select that. Make sure there's no other duplicates. There might be. I don't want to look. I'm just going to let it tell me if there is. So select. Oh, and looky there. Worked. And it should automatically put your character in the spot that you want it to be in. If not, you can select that character's armature, move them around. But let's go ahead and see how it plays out. It looks good. One thing about the if you do the active pose event thing that I showed y'all, it's gonna really flop out the ragdoll. So I honestly don't suggest doing that for if you're gonna export it to Blender, because like look at that, it's just he's almost too floppy. And a lot of times there will be some clipping errors, and that's I haven't found a solution to that. I know there's going to be some add-on out there that will fix that, but I haven't figured it out yet. I'll let y'all know if I ever do and when I do. So that's how you export your endorphin animation over. Let me know if there's any other tutorials that you guys want me to cover in regards to endorphin.